The second Spirit of Excellence Award goes to my beloved Webster Bank. I am so proud of every Webster banker, including so many of you here tonight, who have built and sustained the company's unshakable core, that vital center at the intersection of mission and values, which proves over many, many years that it doesn't matter if you're 70 million or $70 billion. If you're strong at the core, there's nothing you can't do in support of your community. Well, here's a brief video that captures that Webster spirit. And I'm proud to say that this is the fourth time that Webster has received this award, which is a reminder that the recognition for commitment to successful campaigns and best practices is not a one-and-done award. It's about building for the future and remembering that you could constantly get better and better and have an even greater impact. As my friend Harold Lever, who was also a campaign chair, said very often, when you stop getting better, you stop being good. The first time Webster Bank received this award was in 1995, which was the same year we changed our name in honor of my father from First Federal Savings to Webster Bank. And through a bank-wide democratic process, we adopted the values that we call the Webster Way. And we've published the mission and the values for all to see and ask the world to judge us by our adherence to them. And we've tried to reinforce them every day since. And those values revolve around personal responsibility and respecting individual dignity and giving of ourselves in the communities that we serve. A perfect match for United Way. And among the best practices are an all-in CEO leadership from my successor and a terrific leader, John Ciulla. And that's where it all begins, as we said before. A year-round engagement around leadership giving and special events and banker education. And Kristen, thank you for always being there for us across the franchise to spread the good word. And many, many more best practices as well. I'd like to invite Marissa Widener, who is the Chief Corporate Responsibility of Webster, to the podium to make some remarks and accept the award.
An award from the family founding of Webster. Like, is that not amazing? Thank you, Sir Jim. I couldn't leave that out. Thank you so much for the kind introduction. I'm really deeply honored to share the stage with you tonight. And I just want to say thank you, obviously, and congratulations to all of the other honorees. The one that I happen to know I met is Rick, and I will never forget going out in the community and meeting Rick and seeing firsthand what happens when people don't have what they need, and then what Rick brings to them, the hope. It's amazing. I went off script, sorry. But on a personal note also with Jim, I also want to say thank you because I came to Webster last year, and Jim has been kind and welcoming and warm to me, and has always, at every event, taken me around and introduced me to people in this community, and I'm really, truly grateful for that, so thank you, Jim. First of all, it's terrific to see all of you here tonight. Can we get a round of applause for United Way? Your being here is a clear demonstration of how deeply important the work of the United Way is. So from Webster's perspective, we are a values-driven, community-minded bank with a mission to help individuals, families, and businesses achieve their financial goals. Throughout Webster's history, we've been committed to the neighborhoods where we live and work, and that commitment remains very strong today. I'm so pleased to accept this James C. Smith Spirit of Excellence Award on behalf of the more than 4,000 Webster colleagues who work to create opportunity and economic vitality in our neighborhoods all across our footprint. I'm also proud to lead our Office of Corporate Responsibility, where we work to promote Webster's values of integrity and collaboration, accountability, agility, respect, and excellence. We strongly believe United Way is an incredibly effective way to raise critical funds to address local issues, and we incentivize our colleagues to support the United Way and our United Way partners. Following our merger with Sterling National Bank in 2022, feels like yesterday, but maybe 10 years ago at this point, this past year's United Way Leadership Board included colleagues from across our newly expanded footprint, allowing an entirely new group of people to learn about the incredible impact of the United Way's work. The campaign's chair and vice chair, Carol Pyrak and Stacey Ormsby, give a wave, alongside a stellar leadership board, many of whom are here tonight, they truly implemented a best practices campaign, featuring, as you've heard, our CEO, John Ciola's leadership, Tocqueville Society recruitment and retention, special events, and colleague presentations. The board engaged in group community service efforts, such as stuffing backpacks with school supplies for children in need, organizing food bank donations to address food insecurity, and many more efforts. These efforts enabled our colleagues to see firsthand the breadth and depth of how the United Way identifies needs, collaborates with folks on the ground, and serves those who most need an opportunity to create a better life for themselves and for their families. This is the kinds of inspiration and impact that allows us to execute a successful campaign, raising more than $1.6 million for the National United Way campaign, which is administered by United Way of Greater Waterbury. And $434,064 for the United Way of Greater Waterbury right here. We are very, very proud that Webster consistently ranks first in dollars raised for our local community. We're deeply grateful to our colleagues who contribute to the United Way, and we're inspired by the Webster volunteers who have donated hundreds of community service hours serving along the United Way Campaign's Leadership Council, Board of Directors, Finance Committee, Communication Advisory Committee, Women United, as well as those who participate in the Day of Caring, March Reads, Stock the Pantry, agency tours, and more. There are so many ways that our Webster colleagues and the United Way are truly partnering together throughout the year, and we're really thrilled to be able to celebrate that with you tonight. I'm also thrilled that I'm joined by 40 Webster colleagues here tonight who are in the room, including the stellar leaders of our 2022 campaign, who I've already mentioned, but are worth mentioning again, Carol Pyrak and Stacey Ormsby, as well as the many folks who made up their leadership board. Can we please give them a hand? We're also joined this evening by some of Webster's past United Way campaign chairs, Kelly Haskin, Kevin Thompson, James Lane, Kara Williams, this year's current Vice Chair, Sean Winchester, and others. Will the current and past United Way campaign chairs please join me on stage? Come on up. Come on up. We're last, so we get to have a little bit of fun here. So come on up. Come on, we're holding up people watching the Rangers game here. Great, thank you. So finally, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to recognize tonight a person for whose 17 years has been the rock of Webster's United Way campaign and has led Webster's philanthropy programs with grace, with excellence, and an absolute focus on impact. I know many of you are here tonight to recognize her as well, and that person is, of course, Webster Bank's Kathy Loria. Kathy, every one of the folks standing behind me and at the tables, so many of the folks in the room can speak at length about the passion, commitment, and excellence that you have demonstrated in your role leading Webster's philanthropy day in and day out. You've coached these folks and many others to lead and orchestrate campaigns that lift up the amazing work of the United Way, that engage our colleagues in what's happening right in their communities, and that shine a light on the stories of the families that are supported by the United Way, who are working hard to make ends meet, but need an outstretched hand to lift them up. United Way has been that hand, and Kathy, you've been that hand for the United Way and many, many others throughout our footprint. As we celebrate your retirement from Webster Bank, which is very hard to do, this coming June, meaning hard, we don't want you to leave, this coming June, we are honored and grateful to receive the award from United Way because it gives us the opportunity to honor all the ways that behind the scenes of each campaign, your steady hand has turned the Webster values into action in our communities. It could not be more perfect for the James C. Smith Spirit of Excellence Award to come to us this year because excellence and impact are what have guided your work at Webster for the past 17 years. Kathy, can you please come up and be recognized?
They're my family.
Over 2 decades, and due in large part to Kathy's leadership, Webster's Workplace Campaign has raised over $25 million through employee pledging, fundraising, and corporate donations, including more than $6 million in corporate matching. These dollars help to provide a broad safety net for so many. Webster's consistently excellent results with the United Way campaign is not measured solely in dollars raised. It's a barometer of our core values. Webster and the United Way of Greater Waterbury share a common mission, helping to meet people's needs. And when our communities succeed, we all succeed. Thank you for recognizing our efforts. Live united and have a direct effect.
Beautiful. Marissa, thank you, and congratulations to Webster. I just want to offer one comment about Kathy Luria. So many of you have seen her in action over the years, and her contributions really during her career have been absolutely singular. And we've seen her what she's done with United Way in her brilliant career, and it was just one part of all the things that she did in managing philanthropy and community development over her truly spectacular career. And I'm deeply grateful to you, Kathy, for all you've done to make Webster better. And you know, one thing about our campaign is that senior officers vie to be the chairs of the campaign. And it's part of how we build our cabinet and resuscitate. And every campaign is new from the last campaign because there's new blood and new ideas, but there has to be a core. And Kathy Luria was that core. She was that one constant in the campaign that everybody looked to for advice over all of those years. And she is the primary reason that we were so successful. So bravo to you, Kathy. Thank you for everything. Now I'll turn it back to Kristen and Mark.